sheds the burden of the past and looks for a totally new life. New life means new level of awareness. New level of awareness means a totally a new perception. I perceive the world differently. And that is our first step. Study yourself and you drop the burden of the past. You follow the second step. But before that, do you remember Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Mantras. So even in English you can repeat it. Oh, let there be a guard. I said grows. Oh, grows is an acronym. So guarding myself from the negative influences. Or simply be positive. Let everyone be protected. Relishing. Relishing captures the essence of enjoying the spiritual journey. Do I really enjoy the journey? It encourages to process the learning about the self-discovery. And O means the operative. So I operate with a higher level of awareness, not unconsciously and habitually. If you are operating, if you are listening and learning unconsciously, habitually, it is not going to work. Even if you listen for 10, 50 years, operate, that is very important. We are not animals. We have an intellect. And then the Tejasvina Vadhitamastu. W means the wisdom. In every session, did I rise in awareness? I drink, for example, take an example. I take a hard drink every day. I remain as a husband or a wife or a son or a daughter. But you drink this knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, you should feel the change. If you don't find the change in your perception, then why we are attending this session? It is important. And the S means the sync, the harmony. There is a higher level of awareness. After that, I said that at least you should sit for 5-10 minutes and just do Om Shanti to the external world. External world means all my past experiences, the way I perceive the world, that is the known world. And Shanti to the unknown world, and the third Shanti is my essential nature. So your mind, your perception moves with the mantra. That is going to change. Now, last time, Stephen, on Saturday's session, yeah? So Stephen gave a beautiful way that how these two sessions come closer together. So understand clearly. That Saturday session is very contemplative and reflective. It is the highest teaching of the Eastern wisdom. You contemplate, you reflect, means you understand. Understanding takes you to the next level of awareness, and in that understanding, in that awareness, you know you are not the body and the mind. You are the real self. But what happens? It does not come instantly. It does not come instantly because we have lot of doubts, in the mind because of the past impressions. So then what we should do? Mantra. So that is why I'm stressing that you follow this Shanti mantra without fail. No, but we should understand why. Yes. So one part is contemplative, reflective. It results into higher awareness. Other part is the practice. So here I'm stressing the practice. Choose one or choose both. So what we are choosing the both. We are understanding, but then we realize, oh, we have a doubt. Oh, I have yet to realize. So let me continue with the mantra. So now understand what happens, what I said, if you are doing it regularly. So what Master says that I must focus and meditate on the mantra. So your eyes are closed and Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And you are doing it regularly. You are doing it sometime if you have more time. Oh, let me absorb myself instead of looking at the horror movie or even watching the horror movie, you are doing the mantra. So see what happens. The mind and the mantra normally becomes one. That is the success in the practice of mantra. Mind and the mantra becomes one. I'm going slowly. So becomes one means mantra merges into the mind, or you can say the mind merges into the mantra. Example, like water appears like the waves, and the wave looks like water. Now we have, because when they merge, what I perceive, there is only one. Either I perceive the water or I perceive the wave. They have become one. In that merger, means I'm aware that mind and the mantra have merged, and I'm still aware of that merger. I live into the heightened state of awareness. In that heightened state of awareness, I recognize the wave appears to exist, but it is not real. Water cannot destroy itself. It can merge itself into the wave. I'm saying mind merges into, so here the mind becomes the consciousness. It can forget the wave alone is. So when I forget the wave alone is, I am into the world. I have not reached to the higher level by the practice, and still what is real will remain real. In the beginning, understanding is required. So either on Saturday's session we only have an understanding, but here I'm mixing the two. So okay, let me continue. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So there seems to be a merging of the mind with Om Shanti. So they have become one. But what is the true? True is the consciousness. So now I recognize this consciousness and the mind. How? In the beginning, we become, I see you, I become eyes. I hear you, I become ears. Without any difference. What will happen in the end? The world, the entire world outside will merge into the real self. That is the meaning of mantra meditation. So when I'm able to merge the mantra into the mind, the entire world merges into the mind. And then what is left? Left is the emptiness. And it is the higher state of the consciousness. That is what normally we have an experience in the very beginning of meditation when we do it with a mantra. Now, in the higher journey that we do on Saturdays, our understanding takes me to that level of awareness. Then, listening, learning, contemplation, and reflection is very important. There comes Eastern wisdom is an operating manual. But if I'm sleeping, unconscious, habitual, how the Eastern wisdom can become an operating manual? I'm living an unconscious life. After the session, I have all the likes and dislikes and jealousy and reaction and hatred. So how the Eastern wisdom can become an operating manual? That is taking a lot of time. Where is the way? Listening and learning, contemplation and reflection. That is our first step. That is what I told you. That is our first step. I'm bringing again. We are going back to the same 40 steps. Body, breath, mind, intellect are instruments. I'm leaving the basic parts because we have covered that many a times. So I have to communicate in that manner. So say, body, breath, mind, intellect, given as instruments. I have to, individuality grows. Now I am an individual. That individual have to listen and learn to transcend the individuality. That is all about awakening, yes. That is all about awakening. So once I study the Eastern wisdom, and then I've been stressing it. That will ignite your idea of contemplation and reflection. What I said, the first step is study the Eastern wisdom. It has two parts. I study the principles, I understand it, then I see myself in light of those principles. For example, we have been saying, I am not the body. That is one principle. Do I see I am not the body? No. In a waking state, I always see I am the body. In dream state also, I am seeing the body. There is no chance of seeing that I am the body or not in the deep sleep. There is no chance. So what exactly it means I am not the body? One example. You are looking through the window. You are not the window. You are not the window. I'm looking through the window. I'm looking, but the window is not looking. It is the eyes that are looking. Eyes are located in the body. Oh, so if I cannot be the window, it means I cannot be the eyes. Eyes gives me an experience. You have to. So this is one example. So first principle is study the Eastern wisdom to study myself. That is very important. Every time You are into anxiety, duality, conflict. Study yourself in light of the Eastern wisdom. Then the operating manual is going to work, otherwise, it will not work. So I have studied, I understood, apply that. That is our second step. But then there is a one condition in the second step. What it takes you if you see, if you are working with an understanding, an idea. Two types of individuals I worked on. I told you two types of individuals. One is understood the prarabdha. Geometrical theorem, you prove that. All past impressions help me to be awake today, attending the session today. It is coming from the past impression. That past impression has given me this body to have a perception, to have an experience, and to have a journey. That is where the law of karma begins. So we are not saying that you just prove in your life. Okay, I woke up, I'm relaxed because of the prarabdha. So I'm relaxed. So what next thing do I have to do? Let me live, continue to into that state of relaxation. No, my mind says it's a bad morning. No, it has come from the prarabdha. Let me do it again. Let me follow the relaxation. Why? I don't want to give a chance to the false I within me to make an effort and worries about the results outside. I'm not concerned about the result. Results lies in the prarabdha. What is my duty? I have to do my activity. I have to perform what is right, proper, and the good. Understand it clearly. So the first type of the seeker understands. It is understand prarabdha. Still, I have to. It does not mean that I have not to work. So many people in India, when you say it is destined, if I have to become a millionaire, then why should I work? So what I'm doing, I'm totally unconscious. I'm lethargic. I have introduced the tamasic guna into my life. So that tamasic guna going to interact with my prarabdha. So I'm not going anywhere. So I change my attitude with the prarabdha. Prarabdha means all accumulated past impressions is going to deliver the result, and this body, breath, mind, intellect, and ego which created the false I is not me. Is not me at all. And the second option that I focus on the false I. What is the focus on false I in this example of this session? So my false I focus on how to convince you guys, not focus on the principles. So then I will be definitely into anxiety. I'll have lot of pressure. I will not be able to give the lesson in a calm and peaceful manner. Apply the same thing in your personal and professional life. We try to convince failingly our honey, our relationship. And we fail, we are frustrated. When we are frustrated, our false I says, I have tried all the means available to me. Enough is enough. So it is your false I. So these are the two steps we have to understand clearly. Then only we can move to the third step. Otherwise, the first two steps, if are not applied, then it will create a lot of challenges. Daily study and reflection in the beginning is the first step. Studying wisdom daily, just doing the practice. You wake up in the morning, the first practice I should be doing Shanti mantra, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now the goal is already clear. I have to merge this mantra into the mind. And let us see. Let us see. If I have more time, let me continue to do it. So I study myself by doing that Shanti mantra. I continue to do the practice. Every day you wake up in the morning, it will become your habit. Just for 10-15 minutes. And before you sleep, you continue with it. So the mind, the entire perception of the mind is going to change. It must change. If it does not change, then there is a problem. And still then I will continue to listen and learn and continue to do the practice. The second step is to the discernment and diligent performance of the ordained duties. This is a simple translation of the step from the master's text. So we have to open. So there is an idea of a discernment. What is discernment? What is right action? What is proper action? I have to do today or at this moment. I have to do that. So how I get rid of the false I? I get rid of the false I. What is right and good I need to do? I need to perform my duty. Duty is my responsibility. I ought to do. What does it mean? I am before my honey, so it is my responsibility that let me act as a husband, let me act as a son, let me act as a father, let me act as a mother, let me act as a boss if I'm working in an organization or I'm the boss. So I play my role. I play my role. So we are differentiating the duty from the false. False I is impulsive. It says, no, you are wrong, I'm right. And it goes unnecessarily and it creates a lot of problems. In a session, there is a teacher and there are speakers. So in a session where the teacher and the student are there is an impulsive desire. The teacher is always right. And that creates a lot of problems. Same thing, I'm husband, so husband is always right, wife is always right, and long list. So here, that is why we say discernment, duty. What is my duty? What is right, proper, and good I must perform. There is no excuse. If I don't perform it, I will accumulate sin, unfavorable condition. You are driving within the speed limit. Does any cop disturb you? I'm doing my duty. Take this simple example. I'm speeding and the cop is there. Now I'm accumulating sin. So I'm not performing my duty. I'm still driving. It's a very tricky secret of it. You have to understand, you have to apply it again and again. Then only you rise in consciousness. It's not easy. But I will tell you, Eastern wisdom is all easy. So we have to, the more we understand it, the more we apply. Oh, now the sun has come, so what should I say? Your false I will say, oh, he doesn't listen to me, so today I will just, impulsively I will talk to him. You are wrong. You are speeding. Master is saying in the second step, discernment and diligent performance of your duties. So by performing the duties, we are separating and dissolving the false I inside. We are giving the responsibility to the existence. What will happen? You are always relaxed. You are always calm. It is the false I that causes the problem. That puts you into anxiety, duality, and a conflict. The moment you recognize it is my duty, I have to do it, just do it. Let me do it. So it takes little time. Is this truly my duty? Is this action righteous and necessary? What are the potential consequences of this action? The three-part understand. Is this truly my duty? I'm relaxed and calm. No, but I'm not relaxed and calm. Then we recognize, no, it is not my duty. There are some false I has entered into it. Is this action righteous and necessary? You know, in US, in the Western world, we say postpone, delay. Delay. We have lot of money, but I have to buy the house, so let me collect more money. Delay having a pleasure. Some statement is there. So you delay the pleasure. That is not rightly aligned, but you can understand. So is this action righteous and necessary? Let me do it. Otherwise, my false I prompts me impulsively. It reacts inside and then it comes outside. It will not work. Then you have not learned it properly. And the third, what are the potential consequences of this action? Today I will talk to you how crazy you are and you have done everything wrong. Is it necessary? What are the potential consequences? Can I have a different expression? Can I explain it differently? That is where the discernment and the dispassion comes. That is the second step. So when we follow and apply the first two steps, what is going to happen? Our behavior and attitude changes. You will be surprised that your way of thinking will undergo a tremendous change. No, I have to. Is it my duty to get angry and agitated? Answer is no. But I have to perform my duty. So, okay, let me explain like this. Let me interact with this guy like this. Some people will not listen to you. Then we have other ways. That is coming later. Some people. But just if you do not keep your mind clear, there is no sense of emotional freedom inside. With that emotional freedom, you are performing your action. Life is going to change. We learn and experience the joy all the time. We are not influenced by the world outside. Again, I'm invoking another principle from another text, but it is required. The false I is deeply attached to the world outside of people, of relations, of things. It instantly prompts your feeling and emotion and thoughts inside. And then we forget the duty. We speak whatever we have to speak, and then we repent. Repentance is the sin. We're not learning religion. So repentance, you are creating an unfavorable situation. And then you go and say sorry, it doesn't work. Because you have said sorry and still you have those feelings inside you. You're not very clear. That is the karma yoga. So, what is the problem? The false I has taken the roots. Are you understanding? False I has taken the roots. Are you understanding? Our goal is awakening, neither less nor more. Many people reach to this state of positive. They say positive false I. What is positive false I? I told you, you did not follow me. I gave an example. That guy is donating almost $100,000 every year and still he has a lot of problems. Anxiety, duality, and a conflict. Because the false I is donating. That is not charity. In Eastern wisdom, what Bill Gates are doing and others are doing, that's a different matter. The mind did not change. In givingness, with discernment, my mind must undergo a change. Understand it clearly. So these two steps, I may be giving one more lesson on these two steps and then we will go to the third step. So I mess up everything. My false I comes from the background. It tries to rationalize his, and I am upset and I make others also upset. So I have to recognize these symptoms. If these symptoms are there, it means there is some problem. I'm not following these two steps correctly. I have to contemplate and reflect, and I have to do the mantra regularly. That I'm not going to leave. Unless Shanti, Shanti, Shanti merges into the mind. That merger represents another level of awareness, of understanding. So first step is study yourself or study Eastern wisdom. Both are the same thing. In the second step, discernment and diligent performance of the duties that I need to perform. And there I added that this body, we are born, physical body is given by our parents. You see that physical body. But majority of the time, the way your parents approach a particular thing in the life, your approach is always different. So that individuality has a tag attached with the past impressions. Just take it that way. We are going to prove this theorem. This is a theorem. But in the meantime, we have to understand that every day wake up in the morning, we should be in the state of the gratitude. I'm alive. Okay. It is because of the past karma. So we are not introducing any God or other thing. So what is right and good and proper, I need to do it. Let me start doing it. So you remember the mantra, meditation, you do it. But your mind is reactive. Okay, past impression, okay. Let me not continue to think about it. It's a past impression. Let me get rid of it. But if you feel that if you go other way, if prarabdha is not there, then what happens? I am stressed. You see, it's so easy to understand it. It is coming from the past impression. Let me do it and change it. One option. Second option, the same false I says, no, look at it, you are stressed. How can you meditate? Better to skip the session. I have a lot of headache. So the Masters has given a foolproof plan how to rise in that awareness. And then what happens? I'm not looking for the results of the fruit. So the mind is constantly maintaining that state of the calmness and relaxation. But the false I is still working deep inside. The false I is accumulating good impressions. Now you follow these two steps, and the mind is constantly accumulating these things, and the false I owns the responsibility. And how to get rid of it is our third step. Let us start our practice. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. We'll talk about the third step in our next session. Before Mangalacharan. So I'm extending your morning 10 minutes of the practice in the meditation. What we do before the Mangala Shanti mantra, that is what we are doing, the place of the body, position in the posture. Do you see that? Sometimes statistical, we want to do the statistical calculation, we have to gather a lot of values together, and then we want to see whether these values are significant or not. Same thing is happening. We are just doing the same thing. We take a lot of values: place, position, posture, being comfortable. Okay, that is another value. Being carefree. I'm just enjoy. You just enjoy. I've been a science student, so that's how I perceive these principles. Being carefree. Okay, being carefree. Okay. Then looking at I have awareness of the breath. Yes, flow of the breath. Yes, I'm aware of the flow of the breath. The body is in the state of the steadiness. Someday it will not be steady. That is why we have the stage 1 of the meditation. I believe you are getting into it, what I want to convey today. So then we say, okay, body is unsteady and the mind has all the impulsive states. Okay, no issue. You just look at it, you are aware of it, and you say, okay, let me pick up the first neighbor. First neighbor from outside is the world of people and place. So your recognition is the mind still going outside on someone, on something, on some event. That may be the reason. But now I'm aware of it. It is a neighbor, it is not me. It gives you some state of calmness. Second neighbor is the body, physical body. I'm talking of the physical. Check, it has a steadiness. The body has a state of the calmness. Okay, relax is there. And we just a reminder. Deep attachment with the body causes the fear, frustration about the birth and the death. The third neighbor is the breath, the flow of the breath or the energy, where we get an experience of hunger, thirst, and pleasure after eating, satisfaction after eating, etc., etc. Okay, so they are still the neighbor, yes. And the fourth neighbor is the mind. Okay, pain and pleasure. Oh, that is pain and pleasure, is the source of, located. Mind is not there. Forget about experiences of pain and pleasure. And the fifth neighbor is the intellect. strong likes and dislikes. So the mind gets the pleasure, for example, eating the pasta, which contains perhaps a lot of starch and carbs. And if you're suffering from a particular disease, you're not allowed to eat it, but the pleasure makes you eat it. Oh, yes. And that very idea, thought, experience of the pleasure dictates the intellect, and then the intellect sings the same tune. Intellect says, yes, pasta gives me the pleasure. What is lost? Discernment is lost, my friend. I gave you one example. This is what happens in our daily life, and that falls short of awakening. And the sixth neighbor is our ignorance. Ignorance, I told you, I explained to you. Sarvesham. Then comes the Shanti mantra. So you see, I'm using this Shanti mantra here. You have to use that Shanti mantra with the same tone. By regular practice, you'll be able to merge. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. So you remember, you reflect, and you are there. It is something you are driving under a speed limit, smoothly, restfully, gently. That is the mantra. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Can you now did you understand what I said, the merging? Peace for all. Is it not merging? Just reflect. You'll realize, oh, that's what you have been talking about it, but you did not speak before. Why? Because I wanted you to work on yourself. Whether you worked or not, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Can you see the merging? Purnam? I'm complete in myself. Very completeness in myself dissolves that there is anybody else in the world. The completeness, there is only one. So it gives you a perception of I am you, you are me. Two waves are talking and they have realized that they are the water. What they will say? I am you, you are me. If they don't say, let me know. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be an auspiciousness for all. And in that state, we say we have already reached to a higher level of awareness, and with that awareness, we say, mind, you have to purify yourself. So look inside the forehead in the space. You start dropping Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. You are saying gently, with a 1 second of the pause, because if you are saying Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, mind will take the impulsive nature. And now you are in the state of the steadiness, and now you start breathing long in the hissing into the chest, total expansion of the chest and total contraction of the chest. Let us do for 3 minutes. I told you, understand clearly? Do not breathe out with a jerk. That becomes when we breathe out with a jerk, it becomes the practice of Kapalbhati or Bhastrika, what we say, the what is it? Fire of breath or breath of fire. I don't remember what you guys say, but just so it has to be equal. Long in the hissing breath. Om Shanti continues in the stillness in the body continues. So now we want to teach, educate the mind. Mind, you cannot remain as it is. I'm a seeker. That is the goal. Continue. Long in the hissing breath, equal duration of inhalation and exhalation. And also you are experiencing a total expansion of the rib. You can feel the empty space between the ribs during inhalation. And during exhalation, you are squeezing all the ribs and you experience as if all the ribs join together. Because that will give you an understanding, an idea that what kind of a breath you are breathing. Long, deep in the hissing breath. Again, you can just you're aware that it is the prarabdha which is helping me to follow this journey. Don't bring that false I again. How the false I will come? The false I will say, now stop it, do nothing. Flow of the breath, Om Shanti continues, and you are experiencing the changes. You are experiencing the changes in terms of the vision, color, calmness, freshness, energy, whatever it is. Let us start with the second round. Om Shanti continues. Start breathing in long and the hissing into the rib cage. Your expansion and the squeezing of the rib cage continues. Om Shanti continues. I've already told you many a times, by repetitive listening, it raises your awareness. You will find, oh, I missed Om Shanti. Oh, I moved the body. That is the purpose of repetitive listening. But I change the tone and the thought and the instructions every time. And that gives you a new insight also. Well, to a seeker. All are seekers. Continue long in the hissing breath. And now stop this breath. Pay attention to the flow of the breath. Om Shanti continues, and you experience the changes. You have a change in experiences. It may be body becomes solid rock, it doesn't want to move. They are all manifestations of different uh, states of the mind. Now the third round begin. Start the third round. Long, deep and hissing breath. We are breathing. Om Shanti continues. Stillness in the body also continues. Continue. The false I will come and say, I cannot do it, I don't want to do it, I have already stopped, I have changed the rate and the rhythm of the breath. All this is the false I. We raise our understanding. Now stop it. Pay attention to the flow of the breath with experience changes. in your experiences. Yes, in that moment, instead of dropping Om Shanti deep inside the forehead, you start dropping the Shanti on the 16 segments of your fingers. You see, we just shifted in order to see the mind is withdrawn inside or not, merged or not. Just continue on the 16 segments of fingers. You're not touching Shanti, but you feel like you're touching. And now moving the mind inside the heart, cave of your heart, triangle, visualize any color. Moving the mind on a triangle, dropping Om Shanti, clockwise and anti-clockwise when it sinks. The moment you find it is sinking, that is the right moment, singing mentally, loudly, pushing the mind deep inside the cave of your heart. Mind seemingly stops, you drop Shanti, and after that, we are not doing anything. Not doing anything, and we are aware of it. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside, know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share what experiences. How are you, Samir?
Sir, today meditation was very deep, and I was feeling like that triangle was sinking inside me. As you told me, no, Om Shanti Shanti, the triangle start going inside and inside and inside, and it was very deep. Means I'm just till now I am in that kind of a.
You're still into that state, yes. Yeah, merging is very, very good sign. Whether triangle is merging, whether Om Shanti is merging, that is what we discussed today. Beautiful. How are you, Stephen?
Thank you. I found the lesson to bring additional clarity to the cause and effect of the false I and its influences on us. As far as the meditation goes, I was deeply absorbed into a dark blank space that I followed you throughout. But the thing that stood out the most is that when you started chanting at the end, I felt this overwhelming amount of heat. And my palms of my hands are sweating, and I just feel warm, and felt this tingling of energy coming from the crown of my head through my whole body. And that's where I'm at now. So thank you.
Yeah. Tingling and lot of energy and the triangle merging, they all indicate merging. Contemplate and reflect about this merging and see and find out where our masters are pointing out. That will come into the third and the fourth step in detail. Beautiful. How are you, David?
Thank you, sir. The lesson was very, to Stephen's point, identifying the false I, understanding the false I, and then being aware of the false I so that we can dilute the false I was my takeaway from the lesson. My meditation was extremely deep, lots of indigo that went to yellow. I'd never seen yellow before, and it was just, you startled me when you chanted at the end because I was just lost.
Lost, yes. Lost means absorbed completely, yes. So I told you, we'll have lot of vision, colors, and changes in experiences. We have to pass through it. Then the total merger comes. That is what Brandy has lost. Terry, you want to say something? Yes. Terry, yes.
I was not but anyway, thank you, because I had a delightful, successful experience experience. And as Stephen said, tingling, energy, sensation, and thank you for the, it was just wonderful.
That's a very good sign.
Yeah.
That's a very good
I'm
sign.
very happy.
So you have to continue doing it. You have to feel the tingling sensation throughout the day. And then we will see where you have a problem. Just see that. Good. Very good. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. David wrapped up the lesson pretty succinctly about, identifying the mind and deleting it. And my takeaway was a little different in that I was focused really on like the place from which we respond. Do we from a smiling, relaxed place or from a crazy, high, false eye place, right? And so then during my meditation, I just really tried to stay carefree.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another approach, that we are able to maintain that state of being carefree. Remember that too is the false side, but now it is so subtle. It is not going anywhere. It is not causing any anxiety, duality, and a conflict. And that is what we are going to study in these steps. First 10 steps are very important steps. Beautiful. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you for the lesson. Meditation was seamless, a lot of sensations in the body after the breathing. And when we moved to the 16 segments, these sensations in the body like moved to the fingers, all of them, and concentrated there. So the sensations in the fingers were also very, very live and vivid. And then a very peaceful absorption in the dark space inside at the end. Thank you.
Beautiful, yeah. Do you see that it is one practice, it is one set of instructions, but our mind identifies with the I, goes to the different layers and experiences differently. So that is why we need a merger. That is one understanding. And how are you, Christina?
I'm well, thank you. By the end of the practice, I felt like it was just deeper and deeper and many chills running through my body. And a sense I often feel in my day-to-day, a wall between me and others or the world, and that just disappeared. I felt one with. And then I had a question. If we're feeling rushed during the day, we really want to work on that too, right? That's
yes. Yeah.
The impulsivity.
Yeah, impulsivity. You see, just check. I'm excited. So that false I has taken over the excitement. Yeah, impulsive. Again, the false I. You see, any form of excitement or reaction or hesitation comes from the same I. So yes, or rush. So we have to take. Now, let me speed up the car. Now ask yourself from where it comes. Excitement, so the false I always needs some kind of impulsive reaction and excitement. And that is how it works. And that is why the modern science says it is an age of anxiety. We say modern age of stress and age of anxiety. Yes, good. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. The practice was calm. It was absorbed. And it feels like that when I'm absorbed, I'm able to drop my past impressions and it goes away. It was,
yes.
Mind gets clear.
Yes, you are hinting something that we all have to notice and see what happens. And what do you mean by merging? What do you mean by absorption? Think of this week on this principle. We say in meditation we have three aspects: the doer of meditation, the object of meditation, and the process in between. Trinity. We say the Trinity. Trinity is a very famous principle in Eastern wisdom. Always the three aspects are always there. I am talking to you. I am, you are, and talking. You see? Three things. What are the two things that merge in meditation? That is the question. Don't answer me now. You have to contemplate and reflect. And Vaibhav have already hinted it. And if the two merges, what happens? You live into that state, then see what happens. That is all for today. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Namaste.